Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Let's talk about Oakland's Jack Gohlke, who in last year's tournament scored 32 points and hit 10 three-pointers on Kentucky, which led to the downfall of John Calipari. Now, we won't rehash old wounds. Instead of preparing for Oakland and watching film like you would normally do, if you go back and watch his press conference pregame, he took the team bowling. So we don't know how to guard Jack Gohlke. He hits 10 threes. He's open on every one of them. None of them are really contested. They play his own defense. We don't know how to beat their zone because we didn't study it. So anyway, it leads to him leaving Kentucky and making a deal with Arkansas, which we're all glad. Most Kentucky fans are glad. There's probably about 25% who still wanted him to stay. Look, he was done, whether you wanted him to stay or not. There was no NIL money. We wouldn't have been able to get any players because the donors were done, and everybody was pretty much done. So it worked out well for all three schools, Arkansas, BYU, Kentucky. So let's talk about Arkansas. You get John Calipari. You weren't going to get a big-name coach. The former coach, who now his name escapes me, was, you were going to the Elite Eight and every Sweet 16. So Calipari, once again, does what Calipari does. He comes on at the end of the year and meshes the players. That's what he's good at. You're in the Sweet 16. You're playing Texas Tech. You're just as athletic as they are, so it's going to be a close game. You can win that one. But that's what Calipari does. Now, if you have to count on him drawing up a play at the end of the game to win the game, or an out-of-bounds play, you're not going to win that game. But you could win. Then let's look at what happened to Kentucky. Obviously, we got Mark Pope from BYU, which was great. It ended up great. I knew it when they hired him. Okay, this guy understands Kentucky. He brought in the 5-out offense, which is a unique offense that we play, and we were able to fight through injuries and have a good season. And we're in the Sweet 16 versus Tennessee. I see we're a 4.5-point underdog. Go bet that right now. Look, they might win, but I don't know if they're going to beat us by 4.5, 5 points. We give Tennessee problems because of the way we play, and we've done a really good job of defending them, and now we're a better defensive team. Keep in mind, we were 5 and 6 point underdog the first two times we played, and we beat them. So now, will it be hard to beat them? Yes. Can we beat them? Absolutely, we can beat them. Kobe Brea, that's who has to have a big game. If he has a decent game, we win. If he doesn't, and we don't get up to 75, 80 points, we're not going to beat them low 70s or in the 60s. So we got Mark Pope. Then BYU hires Kevin Young out of the NBA. I make sure, yes, Kevin Young from the Phoenix Suns. He has a long assistant coach career in the NBA. He also did some college stuff. He comes into BYU. They're one of the hottest teams right now. They play Alabama. They can beat Alabama. They score just as much as Alabama does, and neither one of them play defense. So you look at what happened. Arkansas got better. They got a better coach. They got better. Kentucky got a better coach because, like I said, no offense to Calipari, he was done. Okay, I'll use the word complacent. Will be nice. I ain't going to say he was getting lazy, but he was getting complacent. So we needed a new coach. And, of course, Mark Pope, being the captain of the 1996 championship team, understands Kentucky, everything that goes with it. It worked out well for us. And then, of course, BYU went to the NBA, got a really good assistant coach, and they are rolling. So all three teams, Arkansas, Kentucky, and BYU, they got a chance to go to the Final Four. I mean, you look at the brackets. Let's look at some Vegas odds. I just wrote down for the 8 games because some of these odds, Alabama is a 4.5-point favorite over BYU. BYU can beat them outright. I would bet that. The over-under is 175. So obviously they think it's going to be a high-scoring game in the 80s or 90s. I agree. You might want to bet the over if you're going to bet that. Don't bet the under because neither one of those teams play great defense. But right now, BYU is rolling. But Alabama has Mark Sears, and they were in the Final Four experience group. They were in the Final Four last year. You might as well flip a coin on that game. Florida's a 6.5-point favorite at Maryland. Florida should win that game. They should beat Maryland. Duke, 9.5. That's a lot of points. Favorite over Arizona. I haven't watched a lot of Arizona, so I really don't know a lot about them. I just scoreboard watch. Duke should win that game. Arkansas, Texas Tech. Now, Texas Tech is a 5.5-point favorite. That's a lot of points. That's the two most athletic teams left in the tournament, are those two guys. Don't think Calipari can't get that done, because if you're going to run up and down the floor with a Calipari team and try and be athletic with them, you might lose that game. So I'd bet that 5.5 is a lot of points. Texas Tech, obviously the better team. You're playing Calipari in the tournament, doesn't mean anything. Michigan State, Ole Miss, man, these two teams. Michigan State's a 3.5-point favorite. Neither one of them run up and down the floor. They kind of play similar style, where they play in the half court and they play defense. So, I haven't watched enough of Michigan State. I mean, Ole Miss, they're pretty good, obviously. Some people were surprised that they made it to the Sweet 16. I wasn't surprised. So that game really, once again, either one of those teams could win. Auburn, 6.5-point favorite over Michigan. Auburn should be able to play enough defense to stop Michigan. Houston and Purdue, man, Houston's got the biggest point spread here, 7.5-point favorite over Purdue. In order for Purdue to beat Houston, they're going to have to shoot lights out, and I just don't think they can do it. Purdue has problems against any team that's athletic if you watch them over the year. So obviously going to take Houston. Now, Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky's a 4.5-point underdog. We were a 4.5-point underdog, like I said, in the other two games. It's in Indianapolis. It's going to be a home game for us. Once again, like I said in the last video, will it be hard to beat them a third time? Yes, but our style of play can win out over their style of play. That's why we won, with style of play. We play the 5-out offense. We spread the floor. They have a lot of problem with that. And they end up shooting a lot of threes because we're spreading them out. So, we've done very well against them in the first two games. Lanier, obviously, Chaz Lanier will be the key to them. If he has a bad game, he's their guy. They will not score very many points. So, as I said, Kobe Brea has to have a good game. We got to defend and rebound. Now, the one thing about this game, referees. This is going to be a physical game. It's not going to be any SEC referees on this crew. So are they going to let them play? Are they going to let them elbow? Or are they going to let it get real physical on the rebounds? So if it's a physical game and they let them play, that favors Tennessee. If it's a whistle where they won't let you throw elbows and play physical, then obviously that favors us. Free throw shooting, they're a better free throw shooting team than we are. We really need to just do what we did last time. Rebound with them, hit three-pointers. Let them take any three-pointer they want, except for Lanier. Because if we can get 80 on them, we can beat them. If the game's down in the 60s and low 70s, we're in trouble. So that's my take on the Sweet 16 and Jack Gohlke. Jack Gohlke changed, college basketball just because our coach wasn't prepared and they kicked our ass. And now you got three teams that are benefiting from the one guy who changed the trajectory of three different teams. So go Cats. If you like this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Let's win. Let's beat Tennessee. And I know everybody's saying we can't do it, but you know what? It still says Kentucky on our jersey. So we can do it. We'll make a video after the game on Friday, and hopefully it will be a good video and not a season-ending video. So let's keep playing basketball. Go Cats.